you the 5 best fantasy values because I'm so generous. It's the gift-giving season. And here you go, hooking you up for Week 14. Final push for your fantasy playoffs. I'm going to kick it off with a quarterback. Why not? Carson Wentz, Giants, Monday night. Play him. He hasn't performed up to expectations on the year, but he just put up 24 fantasy points on the Dolphins, and he has an equally bad Giants defense on the menu and on his plate for this week. I don't think it's a coincidence that he got Alshon back, and then he went on to have his first 300-yard game in 7 weeks. I think he finishes inside the top 5 at quarterback for back-to-back games, second game in a row. Let's go to running backs. James White against the Chiefs. Another guy who was having a down year and showed signs of life last week. Had just one double-digit fantasy point game on the season before getting a career-high 14 carries, 177 total yards against the Texans on Sunday night. You've heard me talk about the run game struggling, but you can run on the Chiefs. The silver lining for the Pats in that game was him, and I think he keeps getting the work against this Chiefs defense that's giving up the most points fantasy-wise to running backs this season. That's right, sweet feet, do your thing in Week 14. At receiver, Deebo Samuel. Deebo, we love him. He's going up against the Saints, still ranked as a low-end wide receiver 3, despite the fact that he's the 9th highest scoring receiver over the last 4 weeks. Let's give him some respect. Put him in your lineup, would ya? Double-digit fantasy points in every game over that span. The Saints' pass defense ranks in the bottom 10 this year. Deebo, yep, look at him right there. Another big week for him. Do you want another receiver? Anybody? Can I get some crowd participation, please?
Let's do it.
If nobody wants to hear, I'm going to go Zach Pascal up against the Bucks. This guy, he's not going to be out there. The team announced Devin Funchess will be coming back, and they did just put Eric Ebron on IR. It's his show. It's the Zach show in Indy. He stepped up to the challenge last week. He had a 100-yard performance. Keeps it going this week. That's what I think. I'm seeing it. You know, I'm making the whole thing happen in my head, manifesting it and putting it out there. It's the Bucs defense. They've allowed more yards to receivers than anybody. It makes sense. And finally, wake up, everybody.
We're here.
In studio. The boys are caught in an elevator downstairs. I'm out here tap dancing. Tight end, Tyler Higbee. How about that one? Up against the Seahawks. That one get you going, X?
Yeah.
All right, Gerald Everett, here's the deal. He sat out last week. Higbee went off with 107 yards. He also scored a touchdown. This one just makes sense. I love this time of the year in fantasy when you know which tight ends are going to go off and which matchups. It's very easy to tell. I would look at Everett's status, keep your eyes on that. If he's out, scoop up Higbee, start him against that Seahawks defense. They've allowed the second most points to tight ends this season. There you have it. Carson Wentz, a little sweet feed for you against KC in Foxborough. Deebo Samuel at New Orleans. Zach Pascal and Tyler Higbee. If Gerald Everett sits out up against Seattle, very generous to the tight end spot. Will Selva out in the newsroom in Culver City now. Will, that got weird for a second, but here we are.
You know what? I'm here for you. I am here for you. I'm not stuck in any elevator. And yes, you have those tap dancing shoes on, and I love it. Just remember, Higbee, Deebo, Pascal, do it. Listen to Kay, and we'll see if the boys come back. We posed the question on the show Twitter account. Which player do you want to give a gift to this holiday? And a few of you answered giving your own hamstrings to wide receiver Adam Thielen. Very generous. At this point, you probably would take you up on it. The frustration is real, is palpable for Thielen, who did not practice on Thursday as he continues to deal with the nagging hamstring injury suffered in Week 7. However, head coach Mike Zimmer offering a glimmer of hope. Zimmer won't rule him out for Sunday's game against the Lions, saying Thielen obviously wants to get out there with his guys. Well, Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield back on the field with his bruised hand. The injury didn't seem to affect him as head coach Freddie Kitchens said he looked good throwing the football. The belief is that he should play Sunday against the Bengals. He's also been dealing with a rib injury. Jets running back Le'Veon Bell missing practice on Thursday due to an illness. He's the 3rd Jets player to miss practice this week because of an illness, joining tight end Ryan Griffin and defensive end Maurice Kennedy in the sick ward. Dolphins tackle Christian Wilkins giving 8th grader Hailing Barrientos the surprise of her life. Barrientos, the winner of the district-wide cleat design contest for the NFL's My Cause, My Cleats campaign. Wilkins saying her design represents different races, unity, and all the qualities he stands for. Now, Barrientos' design chosen out of 80 submissions, and Wilkins will wear the cleats against the Bengals on December 22nd. So out of 80 80 submissions. That was picked. So congratulations to her. That is very cool. I would like to design shoes for you, Nate, but I feel that would be too tall of a task, my friend.
No, actually, let me design some for you. We can actually work that out. Appreciate that, Will. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. But speaking of that, as the NFL Centennial season continues, My Cause, My Cleats is back to shine a spotlight on issues, charities, and causes NFL players care about the most. For Minnesota tight end Kyle Rudolph, there's a place not far from the Vikings' home field that remains near and dear to his heart, and one that serves a powerful source of hope and inspiration.
Cousins back to pass. Dump over the middle, Rudolph. Touchdown by Kyle Rudolph.
For My Cause, My Cleats this year, I will be dedicating my cleats to the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital and the 3M Open, because both of these organizations have done so much in supporting myself and supporting my wife and all of the dreams and ambitions that we've had to better the lives of patients and families at the hospital. How are you guys?
Jackson's been fighting leukemia since he was 5 and just relapsed back in April. So now he got CAR T-cell treatment and hopefully he'll be cured for good.
Yeah, beat it once, beat it again. Everything that we do at the hospital is directly for the patients and their families. All of our time and energy is dedicated to making their experience just a little bit more enjoyable.
All right, guys, I got cleats here that I'm going to wear later this season in a game, and they're dedicated to the hospital. So, should we check them out? All right. Look at that. What do you guys think? Do you guys know what that looks like? Does that look like the outside of the hospital? Yeah. Is that the same color, how it changes? It's awesome because, you know, these kids, most of them will probably still be in their rooms, you know, watching the game when we're wearing them, and they'll feel a connection to those cleats. You know, they'll be like, you know, hey, I was a part of that. Like, I saw the cleats for the first time.
It totally looks like the hospital.
Totally looks like the hospital, huh?
The outside of the hospital.
Yeah, isn't it? Hopefully I score a touchdown in these, huh? Those cleats represent this hospital and all the doctors and nurses and patients, families that we've known through this hospital. So, you know, it's just a representation of all of them.
Now, we'll be profiling important causes like Rudolph's throughout the remainder of the season. For more information, you can visit NFL.com/mycausemycleats.
I think he's one of the best guys I've ever met. Just not even as a football player. He's just wonderful through and through. On the field, off the field. One of our favorite guests. One of our most often.
Comes on the show all the time.
Yeah,
He's a great dude.
One of our
guest.
most often guests. All right, it's Friday.
Have him on all the time. I remember back at Honors, Kay and I talked to Kyle Rudolph and his wife Jordan, and they're always very involved with any causes for children. They have a family themselves. He's obviously a Walter Payton Man of the Year finalist, and it's just a fantastic player too. Who's on fire on the field right now too. He has it all going on. It's very cool.
Cool initiative from the league. Every player gets to pick their own charity to kind of donate to. It makes you wonder what we all could do if we just paid attention a little bit more and kind of contributed as much as we can. I think we all do a great job being aware of that stuff, but the NFL putting it on the cleats, everyone gets to know every single player's cause this week. It's cool.
I say it all the time. For these young guys, pay attention to individuals like Kyle. The touchdowns will fade, even the money you make. It doesn't matter. When you're gone, people remember the impact that you had on your communities, man. Get 10 toes down wherever you're at and give your time, give your energy, because those kids that need it, man, you can change lives just like Kyle's doing.
You have your own cleats. They light up.
Yeah, I have some Christmas cleats with a black Santa on the side. I want to give to Boys and Girls Club because they provide for so many kids that don't have anything on the holidays. So kids that don't have a Christmas gift under the tree, I like to be someone they can lean on.
We auctioning those puppies off?
Yep, and the money goes straight to kids that need it.
Love that. And like you said, he's balling on the field. Adam Thielen, their coaching staff saying no need to rush him back because Kyle Rudolph has stepped up. They've got a big one at home against the Lions this week. More GMFB will stay in the NFC North to show you last night's highlights with Mitchell Trubisky rising to the occasion under the bright lights. Did he earn his franchise QB label?
That's the question for the offseason.
And Peter, Browns aren't out yet, apparently.
Browns are alive, guys.
Peter, what?
Browns are alive. I will take you into the lab.
What? What kind of lab?
I'm going to tell you how.
Like Dexter's
Browns
Laboratory?
Can still play in January.
Dexter's Laboratory.